They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread and butt sex. They care way too much but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck. Yeah, well, I mean, I've seen this shirt because when I got drunk and bought my other Joe Diffie shirt that I got. See, when I did that and was Googling around pre-death, just so everybody knows, I acquired both Joe Diffie shirts before he died. It wasn't that type of thing. The diff
got in early.
The diff is long hit for me. Well, when I was drunk and Googling around for my other Joe Diffie shirt, I found this one that I have on the internet. Again, this shirt was given to me, but I found it on the internet, and it looks exactly like this. Like they, whoever is selling it, they sell it still the same way.
Hey, speaking of the internet, that's where you can find our tour dates whenever we do them again over at wellredcomedy.com. It's WELLRED comedy.com. Go ahead and sign up for the newsletter, and you can check out our merch and all that good stuff. And if you like this podcast, I would say high probability you like our other podcast. Drew has Into the Biscuit with DJ Lewis. Trey has Evening Skews with Smart Mark Agee. And I have Through the Screen Door, which this week, actually, you will have probably already heard it if you listen to it, features a guest co-host, none other than Trey Crowder, ladies and gentlemen, filling in for Matt Coon on account of he had a tumor removed on his back.
Yeah. Tumors in his back. Tumors don't hit.
No, tumors do not hit.
I'm going to go ahead and plug, too. DJ and I do a live Zoom comedy show every other Friday. It's free. We call it the Church of the Eat, Fruit, and Fuck. You'll get it if you ever come. And, guys, it's so much fun. It's the most fun I've had during quarantine. It's half talk show, half comedy.
So I want to say at some point, because I don't know how we're going to this. Typically, we have like a guest on. We record the interview with them somewhat separately, and then we'll record our own thing and set it up or whatnot. With this episode, I know we've just started. At a certain point, we'll have a guest joining us. I just wanted to give you all the introduction. It's my little sister. It's my sister, Paige. That's the whole introduction. But here, what happened was,
y'all have heard plenty about her on this podcast.
Yeah, we've talked about her, told stories about her and whatnot. She texted us a few weeks ago and was like, she just straight up asked, can I come on the podcast? And what's funny is, if y'all remember at the time, I don't remember what she said, but at the time she said something like, can I come on the podcast? Because I really want to go off on yada, yada, yada.
It was 9 paragraphs. I didn't read it either.
I know. And we said, yeah,
I think it was the
Paige.
insurrection. It was like right after it.
We were like, yeah, that's fine, Paige, sure. But then what happened was, we already had stuff lined up to begin with, and then a thing fell through. It ended up taking a few more weeks. She's coming on today, but this morning she's already texted us saying, Lord, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So like she's completely forgotten whatever it was that prompted her to ask to come on here anyway. And so we'll see how it goes. Also, she was told 12 o'clock. She's late. She's always late for everything. She said she'd be here in about 4 or 5 minutes. We'll see how that turns out. But
it's also funny.
She's a hot mess, so we'll see what happens. But just so y'all know, when she pops up, that's Paige, and we'll see. It's
funny too, because we've asked her a bunch, like especially when she's on the road with us, because she does that frequently. Because she's funnier than I don't know how this will translate to the podcast, because I do understand that she could get shy, and not be herself. But she's funnier by a lot than all three of us, and we're constantly trying to get her on the show, and she's just always like, "No, Bubby, I don't like doing stuff like that." Well, and always trying to get her on, and now she asks us, and now she's fucking late.
Because so I want to temper expectation, because y'all, that has happened a lot, but I've always been lukewarm on the notion of even having her on here, just because she's my sister. I know her, and I think she's got a little bit of that, because she does get shy when she has to think about it, or like when she's cognizant, of like hitting, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
It can fuck it up.
We can tell her we're not recording yet.
It has to be fully organic for her. She's like that frog in the box in the old cartoon.
Warner Brothers.
You pull her out of the box and say her in front of people and say hit, and she may not.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
But she might not hit. Right. You know what I mean? But when you have her behind the scenes,
oh my God,
you see her hitting all the time. So
I guess now that I think about it. I guess now that I think about it, it's me and Drew that have always tried to get her to come on the podcast, not you. Because, dude, Drew can attest, And I know that for you, probably a lot of it is like, it's funny, but she's your sister, so it's not hitting for you as hard, when she's sharing old dark family secrets.
Yeah.
But I can tell you right now, I know for a fact that she made me and Drew laugh. Maybe not the hardest individually, but the hardest me and him have ever laughed in front of each other. Me and Drew were on the floor in a kitchen dry humping each other because we ran out of at some point you can't laugh and you got to just start punching. So yeah,
I fully agree that when she's just hanging out with people she knows and she's been drinking or whatever, and she's just on one, I fully agree that Paige is, literally one of the funniest people on planet Earth, I think. But I also know that, like I said, she does get shy and she's not a performer in a purposeful way.
Right.
So the whole idea of talking about how she's so goddamn hilarious, which she is, but then when she comes on the show and if she is shy or whatever else, I just don't want people to be let down by it.
Yeah, it's not
take our words for it, but hell, she probably come out here and just slay. Well,
it's not illegal. It is illegal for me not to tell her that we're recording, but I could lie to her. Drew, how do you feel about that?
Depends on what state you're in, bro.
Confusion.
Yeah, well, you're probably good to go then.
Okay.
We've only fallen into the floor.
There's one thing in particular she probably might bring up if you did that I don't want to be on here right now.
That's a good point too. There's no
well, until Paige does get here, how's y'all's weeks been?
Mine's been good. Yeah. I'm nervous about the Chiefs. I'm a big Chiefs fan. I've been a Chiefs fan since I was 8, and I've hated Tom Brady seemingly since the day I was born, even though I didn't know who he was. And
through the cosmos.
I was in Boston in law school, living in Boston, around some of the worst Bostonians at the height of Tom Brady and the fall, to be fair. I also got to see Eli beat him the first time while I was in Boston. But I just developed a deep, deep hatred for the Patriots while living there, and Tom Brady specifically. So I'm having a good week, but I'm very nervous because the Chiefs are my team. So it's not just like Tom Brady winning another Super Bowl and cementing his place as my personal and the GOAT. It's also like him beating my team. So I'm very nervous.
Well, I definitely think that if we're just, we're taking the whole hey, never count Tom Brady out. Because, look, I wouldn't put no money on it regardless because, yes, never count Tom Brady out. But, man, the Chiefs are the better team. I think the Chiefs.
Yeah, but Tampa's got a great defense. They have a great fucking defense. That's why he went there. It's why Peyton went to the Broncos the year he won it. That defense is unreal.
I think that defense is a little overrated.
I hope you're right.
That defense is streaky. They can be really, really, really good.
They also have to play Mahomes.
They're not consistent. And yes, they got to play. Listen, I hate the Chiefs and have for a long time because
fuck them.
I unfortunately was a Raiders fan and still am because my older cousin was a felon. We've been into all that before. But anyway, so I've long-standing hatred for the Chiefs. Pre-Andy, I love Andy Reid, and I got no problem with Mahomes. Objectively, Mahomes is the best. He rules.
Pretty much the rest of our team is a bag of shit, though.
But I don't like now.
You mean morally?
It would hit for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're full of shit bags. No, fuck
I was about to say they hit though.
I hate Tom Brady as a person, but I have to admit that he's not. As far as I know, he's never beaten a kid.
Right.
So
except in pickup basketball, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah. He probably killed a kid.
All I'm trying to say is it would hit for me tremendously if the Bucks and Brady beat the Chiefs. And
me too.
I know for sure that it's not going to happen. So
and
you
anytime
don't have to worry about it. The Chiefs are going to be just fine.
Yeah, anytime me and you are rooting for the same thing, it very often doesn't happen. And
reverse jinx.
We get shit. I don't know about you, but I get shit for this a lot because, dude, I understand that politically, I shouldn't like Tom Brady, and I don't politically, for the record. Fuck all that. But in separating it, I've just enjoyed watching greatness. Now, if it were up to me, it would have just been two completely different teams at the Super Bowl. I'm tired of the Brady run or whatever. But if he's gonna be there and be playing the Chiefs, fucking go Brady.
Yeah. Well, the Saints dropped 3 interceptions again. They just dropped them.
That's true.
I don't think Tyrone Matthew will do that. I do think the rest of the Chiefs secondary has Butterfingers, but what I want is I want us to win 56-6, and I want him to throw 2 pick sixes, and then I want him to retire.
So yesterday was Katie's birthday, my wife's birthday. It was fine, pandemic birthday. We didn't do much. Went to the park with the boys and we bought her some, like a little painting and some gardening stuff, so we could start gardening. We'll see how that goes. The boys really into it. She acts like she's into. I mean, I'm excited about the notion, but I also, as y'all know, Coach, will you give me the ability to screen share? I want to show a picture of this.
Yes, I will.
I've already seen a picture of it, but I believe, as our audience knows, I've gotten fully hooked on my cakes show. I call it my cakes, watching my cakes, the Great British Bake Off. It's, cultural phenom. A lot of people love it, but I'm one of those people. And so I have, I don't really hit as a baker or nothing, but I made this birthday cake for her because she's one of those Disney weirdos. She loves Disney. And if you're watching right now, I hope you can tell that is a strawberry cake,
Ooh.
Mickey Mouse head, like, the classic Mickey Mouse head shape, inside of a larger white cake birthday cake. It's like it's one of the hidden surprise cakes. You cut a slice of it and there's a design on each slice, and that design is a Mickey Mouse cake. That thing
Wait.
took me hours to do.
It looks amazing.
And the inside looks pretty good.
Bro,
I can't decorate for shit, so that outside and the top look very, very amateurish, but I'm pretty happy with how the inside part turned out.
I probably misunderstood you. Are you saying each slice has its own different design?
No. Each slice is a Mickey Mouse head.
Buddy,
but from the outside looking at it, from the outside looking at it, just looks like a regular cake.
Right, and then you get in
cut
there.
a slice, and there's a Mickey Mouse head inside of it.
The mouse
nice
is going to get
surprise.
us. They're going to take us off YouTube. That's how good it was, because you copied their copyright.
Yeah, but yeah,
we're getting blown up by Paige right now.
It's okay.
Did Katie like it? Because I wanted to ask you something, especially if she's not here. She being Paige, not Katie. She can. I'm not trying to talk shit behind her back. But hold
on, wait a minute, Corey. I'm sorry. Am I the host now? I got a thing at the top.
Yes.
Should I just let her in? Is this?
Yeah, let her in.
Let her in. While you're letting her in and she can get in on this, I didn't know that Katie was super into Disney. I just thought she loved taking the boys there.
From my perspective, that's how it started, but it became a whole thing.
Wow.
Is
that hit for you?
Yeah, because she leaves and shit and goes down there,
Hey,
Paige is here. Hello, Paige.
Hello, beautiful.
Hold on. How do I make this not so bright?
What do you mean?
Is it the sun that you're talking
about? You look
about?
good. Your lighting's great.
It is right now.
Great.
Well,
we're kind of glared out, but you're not right now.
I'm holding my phone now, and I'm like a mile away from the desk, and I don't want to just hold my phone the whole time. Hold on.
You have a tripod or something? I'm glad you didn't try working this out before.
Well, that I planned to.
Oh, I can only be 15 minutes late. God forbid I fucking get prepared. There you go.
Oh, Taterbug's outside the door crying.
Keep moving like that. That's good.
Yeah, it likes it. People really like it when you shake it up and it overstimulates them visually and they puke.
Yeah, keep turning it side to side. There you go. Keep rotating it. That's a good move.
I like your hair.
Thanks.
You said you chopped it all off.
Well, I mean, I did. It was like down to my butt, but okay. And I was being dramatic this morning when I was saying how I hated it so much and stuff. But I mean, I did fix it. I was being dramatic. I don't hate it, but it seemed like a really good idea at the time, and I loved it for like a week. And then now I'm like, I want my hair back, but it's fine.
Well, I love the color, and I can't imagine you being dramatic, especially in the morning.
Well, Paige, we miss you.
Yeah, so bad.
Oh, I know. Well, listen, I'm gonna have, you know how I get, my heart's all racing and stuff. It's gonna take me a minute to get calmed down, but I'm so glad to see y'all, even though it's just on here. I'm gonna have to let Taylor in.
Is that your dog?
Yes.
Yeah, put the dog on.
So,
well, get up here.
Paige, we already said earlier how, you said this morning you didn't know what you were going to talk about. Well, let me tell you what you wanted to talk about, because I don't know if you recall, you asked me on the show because you wanted to talk about a thing, and I have right here the text you sent on the subject. If you'd like me to refresh your memory.
Can you just read it verbatim?
That's what I'm going to do.
As Paige?
With the punctuation or
Lord.
lack thereof in this dissertation of a text message. Okay, anyway. She starts out, she says, I think I won't be on the podcast. I think I know what I want to talk about, LOL. Paragraph break. The only paragraph break. Everybody
Oh, Lord.
Take a big old breath, homie. Don't faint.
I mean, I know y'all talk about the complexities of having relationships and loving people that are Trumpers all the time, but I'm struggling right now because I'm at the fuck all the crazy lunatics point. But then you talk to one of them one-on-one and realize they're dumb and sad and pitiful, and it makes you wonder if somebody actually gave a shit about them, if they'd be so hateful, This old nasty grease monkey showed up to tow my car. And he had me so conflicted because he pissed me off by trying to half-ass flirt with me, parentheses, I think, and then tried to talk shit about my, parentheses, according to him, gay neighbors, and people just normally brush him off, I'm sure. But I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Well, good. That makes me happy to know because I love gay people. And he was clearly confused because the accent I have, and he was like, shocked emoji. Oh, I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with gay people. They just ain't my cup of tea. I said, buddy, I'd say you ain't their cup of tea neither. You sure ain't got to worry about them hitting on you because I highly doubt you're their type. And he said, well, yeah, that's true. I'd say I ain't. I'm too redneck for them. ... I was, of course, rolling my eyes on the inside the whole time. But by the end of all this, I knew this man's life story. ... I literally know that he made $350 last Saturday and his check was $1,100 last week, which he was ecstatic about, but no one has no home life because his wife died last year and his mama died. And now he just has his two dogs that are his babies and all this pitiful shit. And when he was leaving, he said it was good talking to you, ... So like, I wanted to smack the shit out of him like half the time, but then you just couldn't help but feel sorry for him, ... But as much as I just want to cuss him out, I really feel like having conversations where you actually acknowledge the shitty stuff they say in like a confused, oh, you have a hateful heart type of way kind of helps sometimes, ... Like I've told Trey, I normally go.
This is one text.
Yeah.
Like I've told Trey.
And it's nice too, because I stopped reading like 3 sentences ago the first time.
Like I've told Trey, I normally go with the, oh, I'm just too tenderhearted, I guess, because I just think about how they must feel, but that's just me. And they just can't even let a heathen such as I be the better person and usually try to fix the shitty thing they said. One more paragraph break. Also, fuck the Titans right now, God damn it. And,
that's why I didn't respond to that shit, because I was like actually watching the Titans, I believe.
That's exactly what happened to me. It was towards the end of the Titans-Ravens game where they were getting their asses whipped, and I saw that book she sent, and I looked at it and I was like, she ought to know better and send me some shit like that during this point in time, because I was just disgusted at the football game. So yeah, I didn't.
Paige, I reminded them to circle back and that you had asked to be on the show. I didn't answer you because I was like, I don't know what she's telling me. I thought she was talking about your family or something at first, and I was like, I don't know if Trey, what's this about? And then like 3 days later, I was like, oh shit, we need to circle back. I need to get to the bottom of this.
Okay, so what he was talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I had to have my car towed, and
Here we go.
that's the guy that showed up. But like, I've been just fed up anyway. But I'm so okay. And two, that was after the dollar store video, and I'm so conflicted because it's like, well, I ain't gonna lie, like I made Jonathan look at the video before I told Trey that it was okay that he posted it, and made him look and make sure that that wasn't any of his family on there. And I'm like, so it's like, I know that somebody's Mima and Pa walking in there, and like, so I hate to be like that, but like, I just get so tired of the dumb shit.
No, okay. Well, on that note in particular, I was talking to Mima yesterday. If y'all listen to the podcast, you probably remember that dollar store video she's talking about. We've talked about it on here. I posted a video she made of her and our mama talking shit in the dollar store parking lot because nobody was wearing masks or anything. I posted that with her permission, right? And then I kind of started getting a little conflicted too, because you were telling me about people saying like, fucking people are going to get in trouble at work for this shit and yada yada. It's
good.
Like, we were snitching or whatever, basically. But I was talking to Mima yesterday, and I have had this general thought on my mind anyway. But like when it comes to that issue in particular, like Fuck those people. 'Cause I
Dude,
was just
fuck
thinking
them.
yesterday about Meemaw's sister, our great aunt, died, and then her husband, Meemaw's brother-in-law, died shortly after that. Meemaw couldn't go to the funeral, couldn't do none of that stuff because of COVID. Meemaw ain't been out of the house in almost a year. And I was thinking yesterday when I was talking to her, it's like, man, these fucking people are like literally risking her life
Yeah,
for
yeah.
like political bullshit. So like, fuck them. When it comes to the COVID stuff in particular, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Well,
Like,
also they were.
fuck them.
I agree, and also
they're
at-
literally
Well, but
killing
you-
people. So
but
They
you
were
don't
supposed to have
to
their
live-
mask on at work. Like that's a policy. Like if they all
Right.
they're getting in trouble for is they didn't follow the policy that was laid out for them at the Dollar General anyways, and you just made them aware of that. Like
All right.
all you did was ask to speak to a manager, except for just did it to the whole internet instead of, So
Also,
I think it's fine.
though, for the
But-
record, DJ has made it pretty clear to me. He worked there during the pandemic. He doesn't anymore, but not that particular one, but a different one. They will not get fired. Dollar General has been treating their employees so shitty. They can't keep people. They
Right.
can't keep people,
Oh, I
especially now
know.
that the federal unemployment kicked in. So they're not going to fire those people. So that's me defending you. Like, I'm not for trying to get people fired for any reason, but if you want to talk shit on the internet, like, I'm sorry, that's on them. Like, you weren't trying to get them fired. You were trying to talk shit on the internet. That's on them.
Don't talk no shit, won't be no shit. Basically, is what it boils
Okay,
down
no,
to.
I
Okay,
wasn't
but the other
trying to
side-
talk shit on the internet.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I didn't
true.
know Trey was going to put it on there, but then when
But
he
I
asked,
got
was
your
like,
permission first.
and I was about to say. When he
Also,
asked,
that's
I was
what
like,
he
whatever.
do.
But well,
But the
yeah,
flip-
but I
well,
be
but-
ranting to him like every other day about shit.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
but do you know? Well, okay. Well, two things. First of all, do you know after that video, the dollar store in Salina apparently took the sign off the door?
Can't break a rule if there ain't one, but
That's so Raven.
And you
That
want to know
sure
what the bad
showed
part was?
me.
Is that that they had so few employees because everybody had COVID that people from the county that I made
Yeah.
that video in was having to go there to work, and they still took the sign off. What was the other thing? I
wanted to ask, but the flip side of that, and I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad.
Oh,
You brought this up though with the mechanic dude. The flip side of that is some of these people are clearly dumb. Like there's clearly assholes who don't care about other people, and then there's clearly dumbasses who grow up around assholes who don't care about other people, and they like do believe it's a hoax or whatever. You know what I mean?
and they just don't know any better. And it's like, that's what I'm torn about. It's like, maybe if somebody gave a shit about them, would they care about other people?
Okay.
Or
I-
is it the only people that are accepting of
We-
them and are nice to them, people that are like,
See,
like
this is
people
what I
who
was
can't
trying to say
stand.
earlier. We can have that larger conversation, but I mean, like yesterday, after that conversation with Meemaw, what I mean specifically was like, we all know what we're talking about. We've all known these people, and I've always been that way too. It's like they literally, I know it's a shitty thing to say, but they literally don't know any better. Like when it comes to
Some
like
of 'em.
Muslims or shit like that. But I'm saying I'm at a point now with COVID where I'm like, I
They
don't know how
should.
dumb you'd have to be to
No.
not know any better.
Look,
And
man.
everybody knows people that have died now. You've got like, how do you not know any better
Dude.
with this particular subject matter?
You don't
at
want
this
to.
point?
You don't want to.
Like-
Look, man,
know.
there's a lot of people like my granny's generation, all right? My granny was born in 1920, all right? And I tried to, this will be real quick, and then I want Paige to launch into her shit, and I'll shut up. But I do want to say this about those particular type of people. I was trying to explain to some people the other day about like how could people have voted for Trump? And I was like, in 2016, I'll tell you how. It's because everybody don't live on Twitter like we do, and genuinely there was like at the very beginning when Trump the shit he said, like the Mexicans and the rapists, and they literally didn't see that shit. Like the bad stuff they didn't see. All they saw was Hillary Clinton's for socialism or whatever the fuck. Now, if in 2020 they voted for him again, they've had 4 years of just 965 different goddamn things. At that point, it was willful ignorance. And like back in my granny's day, there wasn't a news feed every day. If you didn't get the paper, you just didn't know some shit. So I get it. But yes, in this day and time, there is no goddamn excuse, because you can be the dumbest motherfucker on earth, but you have access to the news and especially during this coronavirus shit. So no, I'm with
Because
you,
at
Drew
this
and Trey.
point-
Fuck them.
At this point with COVID, they all know someone who has died. Like
Yes.
COVID has gotten to all these communities now. Everybody knows somebody who has died from it. A lot of them probably have relatives that have died for. And I don't understand how you could go on just not giving a fuck after your mama or your great aunt Trudy or whoever has literally died.
Right. But
like
what
on
about
some
this?
political shit?
Well, what about this? And I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm genuinely asking you guys, can you help me wrap my head around this? Because this is crazy. Have you seen like posts of people being like, they talk about someone they know and cared about dying,
And they still
they're
don't care.
still very much like, but we got to
Yes.
have our freedom. That, like, I have sympathy for that, and not even like, I don't know what to do with that. Like that feels like a mental illness or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I told
And I'm
you,
not
my
saying-
buddies.
Like fuck them, like fuck
Well-
those people. You know what I mean? Like child molesters have a mental illness, but
Right,
fuck
right,
those
right.
people. You
And,
know, like,
right, and we can't live in a society with them, right? But like, no, I told you, my buddy he worked at he don't work there no more. But
My
they
man,
he
my
he had
hero.
he had yeah right. Actually, I can say it now. My buddy Robbie, he don't work there no more, so fuck him. He had a boss who goddamn died of coronavirus, and then his other boss, they like Rob was like, so we should work from home next week, right? And they're like, no, Mike wouldn't want it that way. And it's like, well, Mike's dead from the coronavirus, so Mike don't really get to want shit no more.
You see what I mean? That's like funny and sad and so weird.
It's like if that was it's a scene in a movie, it would be such a greatly written scene, but because it's real life, it's like, oh my God. It's funny until you remember that like these people, that guy's in charge. You know what I mean? That wasn't just no offense, that wasn't just an employee at the Dollar General. This guy is like the fucking boss of a pretty big corporation in Chattanooga. Like those are the type of people who are in charge of shit.
And the dead guy's got family, man.
Yeah. Dumb, they're probably dumb too, but like still.
I mean, yeah, when it comes to the COVID stuff, fuck them. But, I mean, like, that ain't all. Well,
No.
I mean, I'm saying that ain't all I'm dealing with here. I mean, Corey's still in Georgia. So,
Right.
so no, but like, it ain't let up. Like, since the election, I thought it would kind of die down. No, like, it's worse, if anything. And like, I'm so jealous of the lack of anxiety that people have
Mhm.
because like, which I know y'all are always posting political shit and stuff, but like they wake up every morning to post like and it's never like accurate or true.
Yeah, right. See,
Neither
at least
of them.
ours is that.
It ain't accurate or true.
And it's just like I literally don't have it in me anymore to like I don't even want to say, like, I want to say something and be like, literally everything you just posted is bullshit. But like, it's like they live for that. Like they love they literally wake up and start posting shit on Facebook. Like as soon as they get up, and I'm just like, how? Like,
Yeah, again, you already alluded to this, Paige, but I don't know that the three of us are the ones to go off on this particular aspect.
At least we create.
their
At least we
legacy.
create the thing, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they just post a fucking minion meme that has a swastika on it, and then call it a goddamn day. And
Right.
also, like the thing about those people, though, to what you're saying about is like they live for it. They're like bulletproof because like they'll post some shit that ain't right, and then if you go on there and you correctly call them on their bullshit, they'll just be like, "Look how upset I got this snowflake." You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like even though
Don't
you're
let
right.
it.
Well,
Don't
also,
have it.
even if I'm no better than these folks or not, I think what you're getting at too is you have to see them later that day. You're talking about how you're just tired of being in that situation.
That's what I was gonna say earlier about when we was talking about like the dollar store and the, you know, y'all, which, well, I mean, I somewhat agree with the fuck 'em. When it comes to COVID stuff, I do, but y'all don't have to live among them. Like
Corey
okay,
does.
Yeah, I was about to say, hold your goddamn tongue, girl. I mean, granted, I stay in my
Yeah.
attic.
Well, but like, so that day after I had my car towed to Ford, I ain't even gonna lie. as soon as I got the text that had the dude's name in it that was working on my car, I immediately got on Facebook to see if he was like, you know, gonna blow my car up on purpose or whatever.
Do you have a Barney sticker on your car?
Huh?
Do you have a Barney
stickers?
sticker on your car or something?
No, and that's the thing is I've been wanting to put a sticker on my car, but
it's towed, so you can't.
Oh no, my car's fixed now.
Okay,
but,
right on. Good for you.
Like the way people are, like I really think somebody can put like, what is it, sugar in your gas
Sugar
tank?
in your gas tank. Yeah, that's also what they call queers.
I mean, like they absolutely would do that. But like, and everywhere I go that like is like a service that like I have to have or whatever, I'm just like, I wonder if they know who I am.
Right.
My brother is. I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna spit in that or whatever.
Right.
Because rednecks don't give a fuck, especially if you call them out like the dollar store thing on the internet. Like, yeah. I've just been waiting for like my tires to get slashed or something.
Well, I hate that. See, this is what I'm saying. Like that was the part of it that made me feel bad about when again, even though I got your permission to do it, and I do have that mentality of fuck them, but I hate that like it puts any kind of target on your back or whatever.
Right.
Like, these people are fucking, I mean, yeah, they are crazy. I was thinking earlier, I remember like, Paige, our dad passed away in 2013, 3 years before Donald Trump. But I remember the past few, and he lived in Salina that whole time. And I remember him talking to me numerous times in the years prior to him passing away about how like saying basically to the effect of like, I don't know how much longer I can live in this goddamn place with these people. Like they were already, I'm saying like 7 years ago and pre-Trump and stuff.
Right.
It was already getting to my dad. Yeah. He was like, you just can't tell them nothing. They won't listen to none of it. They just like it was already starting to piss him off even then. And again, think about Trump and just how much that's all elevated in the intervening years. And yeah, it don't hit to think about. Yeah, Q.
Corey's new lady. I mean, DJ was telling me, he was talking about people running up and down the street screaming racial slurs at his Mexican neighbors. And Dre is a brown woman.
Yeah.
So like, there's like, man, if I put a bumper sticker on my car, there's like that fear. But then like, there's like her fear of just like,
yeah,
I don't know these people. And I don't know what's in their heart. And look at me, you know.
No, dude, that's the thing I was actually talking about the other day with a black friend of mine, and we were discussing. He was asking me about, you know, all this shit, you know, my recent viral shit or whatever, and I was telling him about like, you know, he's like, do you ever worry about some of these people? And I was talking to him about like, yeah, I do, you know, like I've gotten these death threats. And then like, as I'm talking to him, I'm like realizing, I said, but you know, I look the same as everybody when I go to the restaurant or whatever. So as long as they don't actually know it's me, I was like, but you on the other hand, and he's like, yeah, exactly. He's like, I can't just put on a trucker hat and just blend in. So like, yeah, dude, that's fucked up. And if I was DJ and Dre, that's terrifying.
So there is which I don't know if since the election's over, but I assume it's still there. There's a Trump store in Cookeville. I hate calling Cookeville out because I love Cookeville. And again, I got to live here.
Well, for the record, I love where I'm from. I still bought a house here. It's just some people are fucking dickheads.
Well, so there's a Trump store, and I don't know if they're still doing it. I assume they are, but before the election and stuff, like these just assholes are lined up along the main Trey, you know where Jefferson is.
Yeah.
In Cookeville. They used to line up down through there and on Jackson. And like, if you had anything on your vehicle, or like if you like looked at them, like, you know, or like if they knew that you wasn't for Trump, like they were like screaming, like, I don't know what, but I know that they really hated gay people. I don't know what they was saying, but it was a lot of bad stuff to gay people, or like what?
I was saying that's terrible, but the symbolism of it being on Andrew Jefferson or Jefferson Davis, I assume it's Andrew Jefferson, and Andrew Jackson Street is like almost too much for me. That's like fucking literature shit. You're talking about the dude who invented the Trail of Tears and like probably the most openly racist president in the history of America.
It's so weird too, man. Like somebody made the point the other day of like, there was this like, it was like on Parlor Take. Somehow Parlor was like, to answer me how this is possible. Joe Biden supposedly got X amount of votes, yet I hadn't seen any Joe Biden hats or Joe Biden t-shirts or blah, blah, blah. And somebody was like, yeah, dude, that's because we wear regular clothes. Like we don't do that shit. But like, aside from all that, because I mean, dude, I'll say I've got an Obama shirt and I've got an Obama hat. It ain't like I haven't done that shit. But like, it's so crazy to think about the fact that there's a Trump store and the fact that, like, dog, when John McCain ran, a literal fucking war hero, I mean, yeah, they wanted him to win, but there was none of this shit. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I remember same town, because that's where Paige lives. That's where I went to college. And I've told the story before, but it's true. Election night 2008, I drove around Cookville, around the square, and around campus at Tennessee Tech and stuff, blasting
Jeezy.
"My President is Black" by Jeezy with my windows down. It's like, fuck y'all. And nobody said or did anything. It's just, it's wild, the difference in fucking atmosphere, because it's not like I don't know what these places are like. I'm from there too, and I always was super emboldened to just wear my shit on my sleeve. And part of that was because I was always so very confident of how much smarter I was.
Yeah, for sure.
These people.
Yeah.
Like I always just had the utmost like resolute assurity that I knew what I was talking about and they didn't. So like I was never embarrassed about it at all. But like, it's not hearing shit like that and everything. Like it ain't the same dynamic and shit anymore, man. Like it's
no, well,
new ball game now.
Shit, I forgot what I was about to say.
Well, I got something to say. My president is black, my Lambo's blue, and I'll be goddamned if I don't take Blue Chew. Let's talk about something we could all use more of right now, ladies and gentlemen.
God
it is. What's up?
Nothing.
No good?
Nothing. My sister's here, but I
don't care.
I love this company.
Too bad.
I love
Got to do it. Hey, Paige, strap in because we're about to talk about our wieners. Listen up.
Don't say none of Trey stuff, though.
All right, I'll do it by myself. How about that, Trey? You set this one out. Guys, if you can increase your performance, get that extra confidence in bed, listen up, BlueChew.com. That's blue, like the color blue. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, which is how your brother does because he eats nachos right before he wears that thing out. Whenever the opportunity arises, Blue Chew is made in the USA. It's prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor or wait in line. It's even cheaper than a pharmacy, and they prepare to ship it right to you in a discreet package, no awkwardness, and you don't need to leave the house. Guys, if you could benefit from confidence where it counts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Right now, we got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free. F-R-E-E, motherfucker. Free. When you use our special promo code RED, that's R-E-D, all you got to do is pay $5 shipping. Again, that's B-L-U-E, chew.com. That sounds like a cheerleader. Promo code RED to try it for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper choice, and we want to thank them for sponsoring the podcast. And remember, when you support our sponsors, you help make this podcast possible. So please, be sure to use our promo code RED at BlueChew.com and get yourself a new dick.
That's right. Get that new dick. If you've ever wanted to have sex like Trey Crowder, go to BlueChew.com/red.
All right. Thank you, Blue Chew. Next up, everybody, listen. Talk space. Your brain. Brain's important too. Not just the wiener that's important. Your brain's important too. I think we all thought when the pandemic started, it would just be a few months and it'd be over, right? But that's not how it's played out. And at this point, it's getting to all of us, I think. It's certainly getting to me. And it's, challenging times right now. I feel overwhelmed by everything that I have to do and keeping in touch with people and missing the real world and all that. And I'm glad that I have my therapist to talk through the ups and downs of how I'm feeling during this chaotic period. I recommend Talkspace for therapy because you can sign up online and start therapy the same day as you sign up. Depending on the plan you choose, you can text, video, or send voice messages to your licensed therapist. So it's incredibly convenient to have virtual sessions from the comfort of your home. Drew, what do you think about it?
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree and recommend Talkspace for therapy. When you think about being in the comfort of your home, I mean, right there, folks with anxiety, folks with trouble getting out, you've already overcome that step. So you can sign up online and start therapy the same day you sign up. Depends on the plan you choose, but you can text, video, send voice messages to a licensed therapist. So it's incredibly convenient. You have virtual sessions from the comfort of your home, like I said, and even beyond the pandemic. Like if you just don't want to have to go through all the rigmarole of it, stay home and do therapy. It's a really good service.
Yeah, it's affordable too. Talkspace is a fraction of the cost of in-person therapy. Instead of waiting for an appointment, you can send unlimited messages to your therapist 24/7. They'll engage with you daily, 5 days a week. Talkspace has thousands of licensed therapists with years of experience and over 40 specialties, including depression, anxiety, substance abuse, trauma, anger management, relationship issues, food and eating, and some of the ones that we don't have.
Bingo! I thought I won a prize.
Talkspace is secure and private, unlike this podcast, using the latest end-to-end bank-grade encryption technology to store client information and complying with the latest HIPAA regulations. So what you need to do.
My therapist gave me practical guidance that changed my life for the better. I'm so glad I found Talkspace and got the support I needed, and you can do it too. As a listener of this podcast, you get $100 off your first month with Talkspace, $100. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com or download the app. Make sure to use the code WellRED, WellRED. Y'all know the deal. And you get $100 off your first month and show your support for the show. That's WellRED, WellRED, and Talkspace.com. We thank them for sponsoring the podcast. All right, we got another one for you. We're really excited about, y'all. It's called Stereo. It's a new app. Stereo is a free live broadcast social platform that enables people to have real conversations in real time. The app allows podcast creators to build a more intimate relationship with their fan base by engaging them in direct conversations. Listeners can record a question and send it directly to us. That's right, us. We are on the Stereo app now for the
What I really like about it is it's kind of like a live show, but it's voice only. So you go on there, you can record something. We're going to be doing it this Friday at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Is that right, fellas?
That's accurate.
So this Friday, February 5th at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, we will be live on Stereo.
So if you join us, then you've got to download the free Stereo app, and then you just type in any of our names. My name on there is Drew Moore Comedy. What about you boys?
I'm Corey R. Forrester, like across all platforms.
Me too, just Trey Crowder, TRAE Crowder.
So you can search through our names, or we'll probably figure out how to do a WellRED thing. And we'll have a way for you to record questions for us. It's going to be pretty cool.
So yes, join us on Friday, February 5th at 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern for a live show on the Stereo app. It's free completely, by the way. So download the free Stereo app now and search for us on there using our names like we just said, and we'll see you live. Go to www.stereo.com/any of our names or all three of them you pick, you choose to get started. It's going to be a good time. All right. Thank you, Stereo.
Yeah, skew. I'm going to do mine from the woods.
That'll hit. We're back. Paige. Do you remember what you were going to say? Or
Yeah,
have you forgotten? Okay.
Which I already texted you about it, but
Are you whispering during the fucking podcast? Are you texting?
No, I texted him about it when it happened. I was so mad. But so Jonathan, he's super
Jonathan
chill.
is your
fiance.
Okay, because our listeners don't know.
Fiance.
Yeah, and he's super chill. And doesn't it's weird because y'all know I'm the most constantly tore up chill person ever. So I don't like drama, and I like everything to just stay good and chill because I get tore I'm a constant nervous wreck, but I prefer chill.
That's the thing me and you have in common for sure.
Yes. And if somebody makes me mad, I keep asking Trey what my problem is, and he says it's just in our blood that I go 0 to 100. But so we had to get some last minute stocking stuffers for his daughter, and yes, I can hear Trey, but so we went in a store, and had on a mask and didn't want to be in a store anyway, and was already paranoid because nobody around here wears masks. And this man, which I didn't see any of it happening, and I'm mad that Jonathan didn't tell me that it was happening, but he knew I would act a fool, and he ain't about that. Like, he doesn't, if he knows something's about to happen, that he knows I'm going to go off about, he'll just like completely avoid it.
Smart man.
No, this man needed. See, I'm already getting pissed off thinking about it. Like, can y'all tell my heart rate's going up because my voice is shaking?
Your nostrils start flaring. Yeah, you've got all the telltale signs of a woman enraged.
Listen what this little punk ass bitch did. See, I need to stop before I get mad. But so I was in the back of the store, and Jonathan was at like the other side, so he wasn't standing right beside me, and I could like feel this guy beside me, and I did notice that he had his phone up, but like I had no reason to think he would be like filming me or whatever. And like I could tell like he kept getting real closer to me, but like I just wanted to hurry up and get in and get out, so I wasn't really paying attention, but like I was just getting this weird vibe from him. And I mean, as a female in a store, like you're constantly watching for weirdos, if I'm being honest. And I was just like, I remember in my head thinking, okay, I need to keep an eye on this guy because I'm getting kind of weird vibes. But again, I just wanted to hurry up and get out of there, so I didn't really pay attention. And of course, he didn't have on a mask, so I like wasn't trying to stick around and be near him or anything. And then like Jonathan walked up and stood right between us, and I just thought he was walking over. And then he waited until that guy, and I don't know why I didn't think about it. Okay, I'll be honest, it was Claire's. So it was kind of weird that it was a grown ass man.
Because that's the ear piercing place, right?
Yeah, and like little girls like jewelry and just like all girly stuff.
Unicorn shit, yeah.
Yeah. Or I mean, I shouldn't say girly stuff because I mean it could be for boys too. But there just wasn't any reason a grown ass man should have been in there without any kids with him or anything like that. And I didn't even like, I just wasn't really paying attention. But then as soon as he walked out, Jonathan was like, I didn't say anything at the time because I knew you would act a fool, but that guy was totally trying to get you to look at and react to his shirt. And I was like, what did it say? And he had on a shirt that said something about sheeple. You know how they, something about
in a Claire's.
That's why I'm like, did he just like, where did he come from? Like, he had to have just like spotted me walking in with a mask on. And I'm not gonna lie, I had on my RBG mask that day, but like he was way too stupid to even know who it was. So like he didn't know. So I'm like, where'd he come from? But like he apparently had on a shirt like something about people that wear masks or sheeple or something like that. And I guess he was like recording me trying to get a reaction. But it is funny now that I had that mask on. So if he was filming me, that all he saw was like me turning to him and like him seeing my mask and me turning away. But I was in the back of the store by myself, like in the very back corner of that store by myself when this man came and done that. So like you're talking about sheeple, but you picked the one single female in the store by herself to come corner in a fucking.
Well, he's a patriot, Paige. You have to understand he's a patriot. So he did his duty by following you into a Claire's.
Like, what a little bitch. Like, you're going to call people sheeple and you're going to like corner like the smallest female in the store in the back and like, ugh. That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about that's been just driving me crazy around here. And that happened like right after the dollar store video. So I was just like, are they watching me?
So do you run into that, like people recognize you at the Claire's, you think, because of that video and because of who you are? I'm asking for real. I'm not being a dick.
Well, I don't normally go anywhere,
right.
if I'm being honest, but it was Christmas and I needed stocking stuffers.
You could hear her voice in that video, but you couldn't see her face or nothing. So I highly doubt she gets like recognized, but she's wearing a
pretty strong voice.
A Ruth
She's
Bader
wearing-
Ginsburg
She's
mask.
wearing an RBG mask in there. I think that's all that it took for this dude. If that is really what was happening, I'm not saying it wasn't. If he was like he wanted to get himself on camera owning a lib or whatever, I assume. And, he found one and it was you. And he could tell because of the mask you were wearing and what was
and
on
of course,
it. That's
the
what I
little
think
bitch
happened.
ran off and ran out of the store as soon as Jonathan walks up. Jonathan, who was wearing a mask, but is 6'6". So as soon as Jonathan walks up, the little sheep runs away. And I'm just like, how are you even going to wear a shirt like calling people sheep when you're such a little bitch? Like, you pick the smallest female, and then as soon as my fiance walks up, you're gone. Like, he didn't want none then. And I'm like, but the thing is out of the two is he should have been worried about me. And I was so mad at Jonathan for not telling me at the time.
It's so funny too to think about the people that the people who made that shirt were just like, look at these fucking idiots buying this goddamn sheeple shirt. Like, if you wear a shirt that says people are sheep but you didn't make it yourself,
Right.
here's your sign, buddy.
I was talking to Ross the other day, and he was talking about how he couldn't bring himself to do it. But he's like, you're telling me a bunch of actual funny, aka not conservative comedians couldn't make the funniest Trump-style memes for T-shirts, and we couldn't make millions of dollars now for Q or whatever.
No, for sure. Or just make a shirt that just says Q on it and sell it. That ain't illegal. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Like, make money off these dumb motherfuckers.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, let's make some sheeple shirts.
Well, I just can't get over like how many people around here like really, I mean, I know it's everywhere, like really believe that stuff, but every day I wake up to somebody on some Q shit on their Facebook that are like, wake up, people. When are you going to wake up? Look what is happening right here next to us. And like, I'm just like, how can these people be telling people to wake up? Like, they've done lost their damn minds. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't, like, I literally am just so sick of people right now. Like, I just literally hate people. Like, I have a handful of, see, that's where I'm torn. Is like, some of these people are people that have a good heart, and that
Just not a brain.
Yeah, I guess. Because if I needed something tomorrow, like, I could call them and they wouldn't ask any questions and they'd be right there. But like, I'd have to be like, don't bring up politics when you get here.
Corey.
Right.
Type thing. Like,
Corey, I know you don't ever go anywhere or see anybody or do anything, which, I mean, you shouldn't. But pretend the pandemic ended tomorrow, because you still live in your hometown where you grew up.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you still have? Is there a fair number of people that like you grew up with who have become a version of this or what we're talking about that you still fuck with, or have you cut all them out, or they've cut you out, or whatever? Because like, I've noticed for a while, for me, and of course I don't live there anymore, but when I would go back, there's two or three, most of the ones that have actually like have not kind of just gone their own way by this point, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or like drifted apart, are the ones who are, sane. And the guys we grew up with that have done that have kind of branched off in their own direction. Is what's happened with me. So what do you got?
This pandemic has, like, I think maybe pre-pandemic, even though, like, I was definitely a vocal liberal person and we were on the tour and, like, they knew where I stood. There was definitely still people who, like, if I seen them at the party, they'd be like, oh, hell, we don't agree on everything, but I love you, buddy, and I'm glad you're out there making your money.
Right.
This pandemic has really cut a lot of people out of my life and me out of theirs. And there hasn't been like a formal, hey, I'm deleting you out of my phone, fuck you. But like, you can just tell. I've definitely heard some things, because I've got some buddies who are like, they still kind of talk to that's really what it is. I've got some buddies who ain't like that, but they still will talk to them a little bit.
Yeah.
And
me
so
too.
And so word has gotten back, that it's like, yeah, y'all definitely ain't cool now. And it's always just hilarious to me, because it's like, what did you think I thought? You know, but now, like, yeah, the pandemic really just let us all see who we were. And to me, at first I was like super sad, but now I'm like, you know, this was kind of the kind of cleansing that I needed. Like, I needed to know who these motherfuckers were. It's like that Roy Wood joke when he talked about, I don't want the rebel flag to go because that's how I know what gas station not to go to. Like this pandemic's been kind of the same. Like if I see you put up a picture on the internet and you're in like a crowded bar and you ain't got a mask on, I'm like, cool, I don't have to hang out with that person because they're a fucking dipshit. So, you know, but yeah, I've lost a lot of friends, or excuse me, I've found out a lot of people who weren't my friends.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what
yeah,
I figured.
I just don't feel like I have that many people that ain't. Well, most of my people aren't like hardcore about stuff. Like they just don't really care. But when it comes down to it, they're voting for Trump. And it's like, and I know people are like, it's to the point now. And I say that. I'm like, if you vote for Trump, like you're saying you support that, like, and that's what I'm struggling with. Cause like there's this one person that I know is such a good person. And like I love them so much. And they are like, they really care about people. But I know that they're like a Trumper and I can't wrap my head around, like I can't understand it, because when it comes down to it, like they would never like hate on anyone. They're just not a hateful person at all. But I know that that's what I struggle with is like.
Are you sure? Are you sure they're not just good to you?
No, one of the best people I know. Like, actually, I should just shut up because I don't even want them to know that I realize this stuff. That's how much I love. See, I need to hush because I don't love a whole lot of people. So they'll know who I'm talking about.
Right.
But people are like, no, it's to the point now. Like, if you're for Trump, fuck you. Like, I'm done with you or whatever. And that's how I feel about a lot of people. If I think that it's hatefulness, but then there's like, I don't know, like, I just don't know about this whole cut everybody off thing. But then again, I'm also like, how can you support any of that? Like, and be the person that I know that you are? Like, I don't know.
I just think, I mean, look, to me, there is a difference between hatefulness and willful ignorance, but they're both unacceptable to me. And also, like, so many of these people that you were talking about were apolitical. Like, I know those people too, where they're just like, they constantly will say things like, well, you know, dude, it don't matter. Hell, it don't matter who's in office. They're all the same. And I'll just be like, all right, we'll vote for Joe Biden then. And they're like, no, I can't do that. And I'm like, well, then you don't believe that. You don't fucking believe that. So shut up.
Yeah.
So fuck them is what I say.
But I have known, and I don't know, I think about the people that I think of that are like that. I've known plenty of them too. And I feel like that most of them, they didn't vote, you know, used to. I'm sitting here thinking like, do they not? But the type of people, them type of old boys, it's like, we've talked about before, like growing up in Salina, I felt like that was actually most people were like apolitical.
Everyone here was.
They're all full of shit. And I think most of those people just didn't, or a big chunk of those people just didn't vote either way. And I wonder the people that are still left in that category of like, oh, they're all the same.
By the way, that's how Trump did it.
Going and voting, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious like how that mentality has survived or not with people.
That is how he did it though, because he wasn't a politician. They hated all politicians, and then he was just a businessman. So I mean, that was the model, you know what I mean, was to get those people who thought they were all full of shit. He just had to put an R by his name.
Right.
Go ahead, Paige.
I don't know what I was. I just said, I actually, now that I think about it, I don't know that this person voted, but I feel like they probably did, because I feel like they might be. The abortion thing around here is still really just like one of the main things. And that bothers me too, because I'm like, I posted like 50 screenshots of different situations of like abortion and like medically necessary abortions. And I support it no matter what. It's just really, really weird to me how people think that it's any of their business. Like, what goes on at the doctor's. Like, it's so weird because I'm like, when is it ever appropriate for you to demand that someone tells you what happened at their doctor's appointment? Like, that is so weird to me that people feel like they have the right to know what's going on with you and your body. So, like, of course, I support all, your body, your choice, but that's still, like, I just don't understand. Like, if you actually, I don't know, I don't understand that either, but that's still the biggest thing around here. I feel like the reason I've had another woman that was like a really good woman, like I loved her, and I was like, you vote Republican? And I'm like,
right. I was about to bring that up too, and save about abortion, because it's just so complicated what makes all these different people tick in their different ways. Because I also have known people who, like, and I don't know how to say this the best way, but I know that they were raised that way 100%. Raised hardcore church, raised by all the family Republicans, whatever. They were very much raised that way. Now they're grown ass adults. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I know for a fact that you don't really even feel that way about most of this stuff. Like, I know you don't, because I know you well enough to know that you don't fucking want Muslim people to be banned. You don't have a problem with gay people. You're not. I know for a fact that you're not, but I believe you still are voting Republican, Trump included, in every single election. And those people are wild to me too. It's like they just do it because, like, they come from a long line. That's just what you do. Like, if you're from that family, you're from that place, or whatever, that's just what you do. So they keep doing it, even though if you get to know them, it's like, but you ain't like that though.
Right.
It's weird.
Like, if I didn't actually believe all the things I believe, I would just be a very normal person in my community. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, so many people around here, they just don't ever think about it, but we talk about it all the time, man. When the GOP and the fucking Southern Baptist Convention made their little
because I know we've done almost enough time. I'm sorry. This is an important call I have to take. Y'all going to wrap up without me. Okay. Love y'all.
Love you
Love
so
you. I know. I'll talk to you later, Paige.
when
Come on, babies, over them.
Extreme
I'm
tight
like,
glass
what the-
voice. Whoa,
Whoa, I got an important. Whoa, it's such an important phone call.
Whoa.
Hey, this podcast isn't important. My sister's only on it. Whoa.
Paige, thank you.
One thing too, I wanted to give, like, some attention to Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome.
Sure. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, also all rare stuff, but yesterday was the International Day of the Zebra, and I didn't do anything, and I feel bad.
Wait.
Also, that's
Hold
why
on.
I wore my Ehlers-Danlos shirt.
I'm gonna need a little bit more.
What do you mean the International Day of the Zebra?
And how does that pertain? And, like, are you talking about like the Chinese New Year? What do you mean?
Is it?
No, I'm saying you said something about hold on, Paige. Let me back up. You said
you did this.
Yeah, you said I want to bring attention to the disease, and then you said yesterday was International Zebra Day, and then you said, and I feel bad because I didn't do nothing.
And then you said,
So
I
what?
I always try to post on social media just to, like, raise awareness and stuff.
I know, Paige.
What does that
what
got
the
to do-
fuck does
what
that
is
have to do with the
International
goddamn
Zebra
zebra?
Day?
If y'all hush, I was about to say that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that's the Ehlers-Danlos, like, mascot, but I mean, it's really for, like, all rare disorders and illnesses.
Okay.
Because it's so like in medical school they say if you hear hoofbeats,
Think horse, not zebra.
think horse, not zebra.
Yeah.
To go with the most, like, common thing first. Don't start with the most rare thing.
Right. But that fucks over the 1 in 1,000.
The zebra.
Which is a lot of fucking people in America or
Yeah.
across
Sure.
the world.
So sometimes, like, you do need to think zebra. So that's like how it got to be the zebra or whatever. But too, like, the pandemic has been, like, okay, it's obviously been bad. I mean, awful. and I felt so guilty, like even saying this, but like I'm in like a lot of so I have Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, but a lot of people that have Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome also have dysautonomia or POTS. POTS is like a form of dysautonomia. It's postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and I also have it. And and they're finding it to be common that a lot, not all, definitely. And this is more of the hypermobile type, which is what I have. There's like a subgroup that has all three of EDS, POTS, and mast cell activation syndrome, which I have. My body thinks I'm like allergic to everything, but I'm not actually. And like my histamine and stuff goes crazy, does all kinds of stuff. But I actually, over the last like 4 months, have like got my mast cells stabilized. If y'all can't tell, I've gained like 20 pounds because I can.
I think you look beautiful. Like I don't see weight. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I got like really like to where I didn't want anybody to see me because I was like so sickly, skinny looking, and like really black around my eyes and stuff, which they're still pretty dark. But like it was because I couldn't eat because my body thought I was allergic to pretty much everything.
Well, if your body thinks you're allergic to everything and reacts that way, I mean, what's the difference? And you know what I mean?
That I'm not actually allergic to it.
I'm just saying if your body shuts down when it sees the shit anyways, like that's the same thing as being allergic to it.
Well, it changes. Like if something can bother me one day, and two, it really just depends on like how overloaded my system is.
Mm-hmm.
So like I could maybe get away with something one day, but if like I found out that I'm like severely allergic to grass. So like if somebody mows, then like I have to avoid, if I have went outside, like I have to wash my hair so the pollen isn't still on me, and I have to make sure to avoid all those other triggers because my body is already freaking out. But so back to like just chronic illness and like disabilities and stuff in general. Like during the pandemic, everybody's kind of been like, well, America, like, welcome to our world.
Right.
Because like, people have actually had to start like living how we live, in which I'm able to get out more now. And I'm getting stronger, and like, I'm the best I've been in like 3 years. And so like, I can do more now, but like, I mean, there was a point there that I could only stand for like 2 minutes unassisted, and like I was like fighting off a wheelchair, which I feel bad for even saying, because
no, don't feel bad.
There's nothing wrong with using a wheelchair. I'm just stubborn.
Of course there's not, but it's not preferable regardless. I mean, you can you can say that something's it's fine. There's no shame in using one, but you can definitely say that's not the preferable thing. Where do you have any where can people find out more about this and maybe donate to research and the cause for zebras, other than nationalzebraday.com or whatever it is?
Well, no, and that ain't even like an Ehlers-Danlos thing, but like we just celebrate all zebra stuff. The Ehlers-Danlos Society is like, I love them. I got to go to the conference like 2 years ago, and it was like life-changing for me. And like, so if anybody's watching, like, if you ever get the opportunity to go, like, you should definitely go. You learn so much, and you meet so many people, and people just like you and stuff. Like, it's weird because like a lot of us say we feel like aliens or whatever in our bodies because our bodies just don't cooperate.
Right.
And stuff, but it's so weird because so many people know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
But the Ehlers-Danlos Society has done so much since like 2017, like for research and stuff. And like, that's who, like, they really do put into the community and try to help people and stuff. So that's who I was. And I think it's Ehlers-Danlos I don't know if it's .com or .org. I think it's .com.
If you find out what it is after this podcast, just send it to me and I'll put it in the little description so everybody can know.
Okay, yeah. But there too, like if you think that, like if you have what? Do I need to hush?
No.
Are y'all done? Or do
No.
I need to hush?
No.
What are you laughing at?
I'm not. Nothing. I'm not laughing at. There's definitely not a Zoom chat that happens while we're in the Zoom. There's definitely not that. That's all I'll say. Nothing, Paige. I got
Paige,
tickled.
Can you tell us how to spell it? Because obviously, that's if you don't have it, that's not a. It's someone's name, I assume. EHLERS-DANLOS.
Yes. And so, like, just real quick, like, I know I need to hurry, but
No, you don't. It's fine. Take your time.
some of the main symptoms of it is like joint, but well, okay, some of the most common symptoms of one of the most common types, which is hypermobility type, and it's common with some of the others too. But there's different stuff with each subtype, and there's like a lot of different subtypes now. But joint hypermobility.
Mm-hmm.
Is it inflammation? Like an inflammation situation? Like
It's a connective
like rheumatoid?
disorder.
Okay.
So like my ligaments and everything are
Don't hit.
too stretchy. So
Yeah.
I have to keep, which is something else. If you do have it, like physical therapy and strengthening your muscles is so important, because that's what got me to not have to use a wheelchair, because where our ligaments and stuff are so like
Stretchy?
and stuff. Yes. And then you have to keep your muscles strong enough to hold your joints in place, because like that was what was happening with me is my the muscles around my hips were getting so loose that my hip joints just kept popping out of place. Like every time I would walk, my hips would pop out of place. So I was having to like tape my hips in, but it's still like it wasn't always working.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep your joint or your muscles strong enough to support your joints. What else? Oh, so I'm pretty sure that mine is like more than some people's. I don't really know, but like stretchy skin, like elastic. Okay, I'm about to like show, but like y'all know the dude that was like on Guinness Book of World Records or something, because I think he did like his neck and like. Does it look stretchy? I can't tell.
I mean, I can't tell how hard you're pulling, but I mean,
Yeah,
yes, that definitely looks like elasticy. And actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, like I've got a lot of skin and mine won't do that. So like, yeah, actually that
It's also, you're talking about a very serious thing, and then you just started pulling on your face.
Yeah.
Well, because
Fucking
like okay, so that
Stretch
dude,
Armstrong
Does
disease.
that dude have it?
huh?
Does he have
Yeah,
it?
yeah, he does. But
And
so-
he made something of himself, Paige.
Yeah, he pulled himself.
He won a
I can't-
record.
The joke I was about to say. He pulled himself up by his neck flaps.
and a lot of people that you see that do the like the contortion or
shit.
whatever, a lot of those people have Ehlers-Danlos or like joint hypermobility syndrome, which is now like
It seems painful.
the overall condition.
Yeah.
Ugh, so painful. Like that's been like it's
sorry.
so painful. Like which I'm kind of better now, and I know what to do. Like I can tell when my body starts getting too loose, and I'll start exercising more and stuff. But like I have to wear a lot of braces, like ankle braces, if I'm going to be on my feet long, because so it's like your muscles are working out all day long. It's like you're at the gym all day long. Like actually my muscles are twitching right now because I've been setting up or whatever. But so my muscles are like constantly activated. So, but once they're done, they're done. Like
I heard that.
Like once they're done, they're done. Like everything turns to jello. And when it gets like that, it is really painful. That's one of the like worst things, and all the comorbid conditions. Like there's so many like comorbid issues with it. But yeah.
Well, that goddamn don't hit. What's it called again? degenerate syndrome. What was it?
Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome.
Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome. You heard it first here, folks. It sucks. Go look it up, donate, and remember, if you hear hoofbeats, God damn it, it might be a zebra. Am I wrong?
And a lot of people have been taught that ends up having Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, including myself, have been told that they were hypochondriac.
Yeah.
Their whole life.
Look, that's a thing that I've myself have been guilty of. I'll be the first to admit, I'm not proud of myself, but I will admit that, and it wasn't you and it wasn't this specific disease, but there have been times.
I know who you're talking about. I did the same thing to her. Yeah,
I'm not going to say who because it's rude, but like there have been times where I've heard of someone who had this rare ill, and I just thought, oh shit, they're just making it up. And I'm admitting that, and it's embarrassing, and I'm not proud of myself, but just to say that, like, it's possible that you're out there doing that to somebody too, and that's not cool. And so I know me and Drew have been just bullshitting and joking, and we probably shouldn't do that, but that's just our nature. But this is a very serious thing. Thank you, Paige, for bringing it to our attention. Go look it up, donate, and help spread awareness for this, and follow Paige on Paige. Where can people find you?
Okay, so I started doing photography now too. Now that I've gotten stronger, because I did not know that I had Ehlers-Danlos syndrome until I started getting really sick at the end of dental hygiene school. So that sucks that I still have those student loans from, and I got my license. I passed my boards, got my license, and then my hands decided to stop working. So I don't have a lot of control or feeling in my hands, and I've just been sick for like the last 3 or 4 years. I've been really sick, but I'm finally starting to get better because I've finally built my team of doctors and, just figured out things I can do. So I've started doing photography now, which I'm just now getting starting to post stuff. Sorry,
okay.
That was really long, but follow my social media. It's Crowda P.
Crowda P.
Paige, I don't want to be rude. I have to go now because I have another thing, but I just want to say thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for having me on. I love you. Tell Andy I love her.
I will.
All right. Well, in keeping with the trend of everybody dipping out aside from me, I will also bid you adieu. Paige, I love you very much. Hey, you listen.
CROWDAP.
Hey, you listen to this podcast a frequent amount, correct?
Yeah.
Do you want to sing the outro song for everybody?
Well, no.
Come on.
How about I just give a skew?
Do that.
Are you talking about we're the liberal redneck?
No. That's the intro song. I mean the outro song. It's easier.
What is the outro?
I'll do it, and then as soon as I get through with it, you give a skew. How about that? That's how we'll end the episode.
Okay.
Thank you all for listening to the WellRED Show. We'd love to stick around longer because we got to go. Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew.
Skew.
Thank you, Paige. I love you.
Love you. Bye.
They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread and butt sex. They care way too much but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck.